All right, 1 second here, folks. We're just getting a few things ready to go here. And then we'll get a little update on these severe storms across portions of the region. So here we go, folks. So we do have a couple of severe warning storms. It's a cluster, almost kind of a linear line there, but we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Potter and Randall County. This does include the Amarillo and Canyon area. This is until 10:30 p.m. Central Time, folks, and likely seeing some winds up to 60 miles per hour and even some about nickel-sized hail associated with this. So, folks in Amarillo, this is making its way into the region, likely making its way on the west side of Amarillo as of right now, seeing some of those gusty winds approaching the area as of right now. We still have this severe thunderstorm warning that's going through the Borger area. This does not include Panhandle, though, folks, but Fritch likely seeing some heavy downpours as well, and getting a good amount of rain with some of these storms here, but we're keeping our eye on this. That severe thunderstorm warning that includes portions of Carson, portions of Hutchinson, and does look like it's exiting now Moore County and still in portions of northern Potter County. Is likely producing up to 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail associated with that. Hereford, you did get cut out of this severe thunderstorm warning here. It's still in portions of Death Smith County, but that looks like it's exiting and now making its way into Randall County as of right now here, folks. So, folks in Amarillo and Canyon, yes, you're likely going to see maybe a little bit of rainfall. Canyon looks like on the back end of these storms as this line of storms looks like it's shrinking here just a little bit, but likely some gusty winds again up to 60 miles per hour. We're going to continue to keep an eye on this. Let me just make sure that this is that we are live and it is working here. I want to make sure we're up. And also help out the folks on Facebook and post it to Facebook here real quick. But yeah, zooming out here, looking at the total DMA, there is some rainfall in Roosevelt County right now. Again, that is not severe, just likely some light to moderate pockets of rain. But yeah, we do have a couple of severe warning storms as this complex continues to push a bit further east. Now, that storm is weak. There is a storm northwest of Guyman, Oklahoma. That looks like it is weakening quite a bit. It does look like we're getting some more development a little bit northwest of Vega at the moment. So we're going to have to continue to keep an eye on that. But we're really keeping our eye on this bulk of storms right here. It's almost like a linear line of storms, more like a complex here, folks. But Border, you're likely starting to see some of that rainfall as of now. But again, quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds are the major threats. But for folks in Amarillo and Canyon, nickel-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. These storms today have been mainly a wind threat. Haven't seen hail too much of an issue there, but let's also take a look. I want to show you we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect until 11 p.m. for a good portion of the region here. This is central daylight time, but once these storms continue to push east, we should see the severe threat kind of weaken here just a little bit across the area. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down uh, on the video and we'll try and get them answered for you. If you're just joining us, we've got a couple of severe warning storms. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for portions of southern Potter and portions of Randall County. It does include Amarillo and Canyon proper, 60-mile-per-hour winds and nickel-size hail. The northern storms going through Borger, Fritch at the moment, portions of Hutchinson, Carson, and the northern portion of Potter County is seeing up to quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds associated with that. See if we got any new updates from the National Weather Service. Looks like this southern portion that's making its way, they have lowered it to penny-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. So again, definitely a wind threat associated with these, and this is likely just some straight-line winds. We're not expecting tornadic activity to be an issue with this, folks. Yeah, 60-mile-per-hour winds and nickel-size hail for Amarillo. But it does look like they're on a weakening trend here just a little bit, getting a little bit more scattered across, becoming more of a complex rather than a linear line. But these storms are definitely dropping a good amount of rainfall, so we may have to keep our eye on the potential for a little bit of flooding as we head throughout the late evening hours and into the overnight hours here for portions of the Texas Panhandle. So just to reiterate, folks, if you are just jumping on here, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Potter and Randall County. This does include Amarillo and Canyon. It's hail and wind threat, 60-mile-per-hour winds, likely penny to nickel size hail. So it's definitely a wind threat. You can see the outflow boundary on these storms. So we should start to see these storms weaken here just a little bit. The outflow boundary is right here, kind of coming up in here near Panhandle right now. So that outflow boundary, we got some reports of producing up to about 40 to 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts. But again, likely still going to see some strong winds associated with the bulk of these storms as they make their way through. The severe thunderstorm warning, if you're just joining us, until 10:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time for portions of Potter and Randall County. That does include Amarillo and Canyon. That's the southern portion of this complex. The northern portion, that is in effect until, I gotta That's in effect until 9:45 p.m. Central Daylight Time. That's in effect for portions of Potter, Hutchinson, Carson, and even portions of Moore County. Again, Dumas, you're likely just seeing some light rainfall at the moment. The bulk of this has already pushed through your area. Yeah, we have the NBA Finals Game 7 on ABC 7 at the moment. So we're keeping our eye on that. There's 2.5 minutes left in the game. Try not to cut in on there so people could watch the game. But if we see an uptick in these storms, we may jump on real quick. But for the time being, we're just going to stay here on YouTube and even on Facebook Live. I did go over there and post the link to YouTube over there for folks on Facebook so they can join in and be watching these storms with us. But likely just a straight line 60-mile-per-hour wind threat. Again, the recent updates looks like it does have a little bit of a weakening trend. We're just waiting on some updates from the National Weather Service. Zooming back out. Again, this is really just affecting the central Texas panhandle at the moment. Majority of us on the outskirts of all these or this complex of storms is in fairly quiet. Again, do have a couple of storms that are sub-severe down portions of Roosevelt County, just some pockets of some moderate to heavy rainfall. But again, the main issue is this cluster of storms here in the central Texas panhandle. Includes Borger, Amarillo, Canyon, Vega. It looks like you guys are starting to get into the clear now of these storms. Might still see a little bit of rainfall fall. And we got to keep our eye on this cell that's developing on the back end of this complex. We'll see what that cell does over the course of the next 30 minutes. But this is making its way east at the moment, folks. So folks in Pampa still probably got about 40 minutes before it reaches your area. Folks in Panhandle, closer to 20 to 30 minutes before it reaches your area. But hopefully this continues to weaken here and just going to get a little bit of rainfall associated with this. In a couple minutes, we're likely going to hop off of YouTube here just so we can get ready for the 10 o'clock show after the NBA Finals Game 7 here. Looks like we may be able to go on time here. Depends on how long the celebration goes at the end. Because this is Game 7, so winner goes home, winner takes it all. Or sorry, loser goes home, winner takes it all. Still waiting on updates, see if the National Weather Service is going to post anything here. But again, just 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny to nickel size hail associated with this. Especially as these continue to push further east, they will likely weaken here. Especially, we lost the daytime heating. It's getting dark. It's dark out there now, so we lost a lot of its juice to keep these storms uh, going. It's making its way into the Amarillo area right now. Canyon, you're on the back end of this. Not likely going to see too much of an issue. Again, just likely some gusty winds in the Canyon area, maybe a little bit of rainfall. Bulk of this is further north of Canyon. Again, Amarillo might be able to see some penny to nickel size hail and some 60-mile-per-hour winds associated with these storms. And then the bulk of that, further north you go in Potter County, and it's still in portions of Moore, Hutchinson, and even Carson County at the moment. Border, again, potential for some nickel size hail, but likely just a 60-mile-per-hour wind threat. But we're gonna hop off here real quick, folks. Get some things ready for the show at 10 o'clock here. We'll see if we get on time. But just again, make sure you have a way to receive any severe weather alerts. But we